Tesla Model 3 versus Polestar 2, a comparison review of one of the most exciting electric vehicles at this moment. Do we take the red pill or the white, grey-ish pill? It's called magnesium, this color. This will be a very interesting exterior, interior and the driving comparison. This will be a blast. Styling wise, we can see here the Polestar 2 with this upright front grille and this dot structure. And to me, the more prominent design definitely than the LED daytime running lights. So it has some kind of crossover look already in the front. The Tesla, more this EV style look definitely, and a flatter sedan look. So styling wise, I think the Polestar 2 wins it for me, at least from the front. What about you? Interesting in the side profile, the Polestar 2 looks a little bulkier because of this crossover style, crossover cladding right here, really cool look, sporty crossover look I would say. And you can see here this special design graphic right there. But lengthwise, the Tesla is longer, 10 centimeters or 4 inches longer, 4.70 meters here for the Tesla, or 185 inches, 4.60 meters or 181 inches for the Polestar 2. And you can see the Tesla Model 3, more the classic sedan styling from the side profile. It wouldn't have been necessary for an electric vehicle to have this classic sedan styling, but they just went for it for design purposes. And also interesting how the strong shoulder is being formed out right there. Really looking forward to your comments. Which one would you go for design-wise? And also super interesting to take a look at the rear in direct comparison. The Polestar 2 with a more modern look. Very interesting light signature here as well, and this more angular design, whereas the Tesla looks rather outdated design-wise in comparison to the Polestar 2. But what is not outdated at all is the range and the efficiency with the Tesla. Really interesting to tell you that already right now, because it's one of the crucial factors of this comparison review. So in our tests, when we keep it steady as for acceleration and so on, we can score a range of up to 600 kilometers or 400 miles with the Tesla Model 3, whereas the Polestar 2 rather goes in a direction of around 400 kilometers or 250 miles. And this is of course a big difference. The efficiency difference here, when we talk about energy consumption on 100 kilometers or 100 miles, at least 4 to 7 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers, even more of course, more like in 6 to 12 kilowatt hours on 100 miles difference in favor of the Tesla Model 3. So the faster you drive also, the bigger the difference is, the more efficient is the Tesla Model 3. And that is on the paper definitely a great advantage already for the Tesla Model 3. But design-wise, I really have to say the Polestar 2 it would be for me. Special thing about Tesla, you get constant updates, both for software, but also for the hardware. So here recently the Model 3 long range received also battery upgrades, now at 77 kilowatt hours in this vehicle on the paper, but it could also be the net capacity. There are also already vehicles out there that says 82 kilowatt hours in the papers. Even in the Tesla community, discussion about at the moment, are these two different versions, or is it a difference between gross and net? The German authorities also do not know a lot of the times what they put in the papers. Charging 11 kilowatt AC, or at the V2 supercharger 150 kilowatt, or at the V3 supercharger then 250 kilowatt. So clearly the Tesla leads there together with the supercharging infrastructure. That's of course another advantage for Tesla, especially when you are in the US. And recharging of the Polestar 2, also 11 kilowatt AC and 150 kilowatt DC. So when you have the latest edition of the superchargers, then once again the Tesla prevails here. So once again on papers, as for efficiency, range and recharging, the Tesla definitely needs it. Oh, and the Polestar 2 also has this goodbye light signature. Yeah, there we go. Really spaceship alike, or kit alike maybe, Knight Rider. This in the welcoming part. That's nice. And turning indicators comparison here in the rear. Oh, ain't that cute. Well, I think it's too small for a turning indicator in the rear with the Tesla Model 3. Whereas with the Polestar 2, this is definitely visible. And in the front, it replaces the daytime running light with the Polestar 2. I think really fancy, whereas with the Tesla, there's a separate turning indicator in the lower area then. When we open the engine hood, we usually talk about acceleration figures with combustion engine cars. Well, let's do it also now today here. 4.7 seconds is the acceleration figure for the Polestar 2, 4.4 for the Tesla Model 3. we have both the all-wheel drive models for today, so Tesla Model 3 long range and the Polestar 2 with the dual motor. Now both are also available with one single motor. The Tesla Model 3 has been out there with the SR Plus model called now Standard Range Plus, rear-wheel drive only then. The Polestar 2 now also has the entry-level model, front-wheel drive only. But the price difference is not that huge here with the Polestar 2. With the Tesla you can save a lot of money with the base model. Polestar 2 just a little bit. But here now the trunk, tiny with the Polestar 2, just fitting for some charging cables, whereas the Tesla is actually a little bit better here. So you can put charging cables and something more. This, has a triangle here. So very well usable here with the Tesla Model 3, Polestar 2 just a little bit tinier. Key comparison, both, doesn't look too good. Here the normal key fob for the Polestar 2, but really cheap housing. And Tesla here with the Model 3 you have the key cards, but you can also still order the classic Tesla key from the accessory department. Then Tesla here with these integrated door handles, and door closing sound doesn't sound that sophisticated, but also frameless. Yeah, the Porsche Taycan sounds good, although frameless doors, but it's also triple the price. Then inside, all animal-free materials. That's of course cool with both vehicles today. Awesome. That's where we are in 2021. And soft touch. Here's some microfiber use. Recent update with the facelift, also with these buttons here that are now illuminated to open the door, and manual opening the door here. And the first general look is super clean. It has a very unique atmosphere. Matte wood, that is really nice. And you either have the black styling or you can go for an all white styling and totally buttonless, just this central infotainment screen. Really different with the Polestar 2. First of all, door closing sound. That sounds better, but also not super sophisticated. And then you can see this is more a classic car interior, not in a classic car as for old timer vintage vehicle, but more of a traditional how we design car interiors. Of course, a little bit more modern, but definitely the Tesla is more this futuristic interior, whereas here we know more things, but in some parts the build quality here is better. And we have also really cool solutions, for example, then here with the fabric styling at the dashboard, also some matte wood. And also these seats are once again animal free. A little bit different because that in the Tesla, the seat is super slick, just a leatherette. Here it's a open cell fabric at the side, and the middle part is interesting. It's a mix. It's not open cell fabric as with the side, but also not super slick as in the Tesla. It's something in between, and I think it's a good solution because you can wipe it clean quite easily, but still it's already a little bit more breathable. And more this vertical screen here in the middle part, so really absolutely different interiors, but both super exciting. Seating position comparison, Polestar 2 here. I'm 1.86 or 6'1", frequent subscribers know. And here, to the sides close, but to the panoramic roof, there's a lot of headroom left. So both with fixed panoramic roofs, and steering wheel control are in and out like this, so smooth control. So nice position here for tall drivers. You more have the classic cockpit atmosphere with a big middle tunnel right here, so as you know it, and you feel like this is going in some way crossover direction from the seating position. I feel the seating comfort is a little bit better here with this seat forms. Cool feature with the Tesla Model 3, I have here this easy entry position, and I can switch it in the screen, or when the doors close automatically when I put in the gear, then I have my position with the steering wheel more towards me and the seat also a little bit closer. And here with the Tesla Model 3, the seat is not that optimized on taller people. They are a little bit short, and that's why I can only find comfort here when I move the back part of the seat a little bit more to the back, which is not that ideal for, best position in the seat, and also for building up pressure for the brake pedal. Well, the brake pedal you don't use that often here in Tesla Model 3 though. So overall the seats don't feel that sophisticated. Definitely more comfort in the Polestar 2, but still also somewhat fine because they are also really soft, and again a high grade leatherette being used here. This is what I've always been talking about. There should not be animal materials in cars in modern times, because you can have the very same luxury experience even then with recycled materials. Well, and overall, super different position. In a way, you feel you're a little bit lower in the, from the whole concept, because you don't have this crossover concept here, but definitely a more roomish feeling when sitting inside here. And headroom, once again, fixed panoramic roofs, a lot of space here, also in Tesla Model 3, and to the side, of course, a little bit closer. But you can drive both vehicles, also when you're quite tall, as for the headroom. Once again, super clean atmosphere here in the Tesla Model 3, and that's somehow also calming while driving. However, the speed just appears here. I think a head-up display would be really useful then for a Tesla Model 3, because looking at the speed right here is definitely not ideal. Software-wise, and also the CPU and so on, superb with the Tesla, and they say that Tesla has a lead of 5 years in comparison to the other manufacturers as for hardware-software combination as for that. See here, super fast as for the satellite view, and you can have a lot of different controls here in the infotainment screen. You should not control it while driving, but the most stuff, you set it once and then it's actually fine. Climate control, however, only here in the lower part like this. That's not too easy to control. However, you can do more and more with the voice control. Set temperature to 20 degrees. And that works very well. And you can do a lot more things with the temperature, with the, with the voice control. Like navigate to Berlin. Oh my God. Here, and that works very well. Super fast reactions also. That's how it's supposed to be. Then we have inductive charging pads, 2 now, since the recent facelift, with nice microfiber. And we can slide this one open, a lot of space right here. Cup holders, however, not adaptive. That's a miss. And then well attached, the build quality has been improved bit by bit with the Model 3, and even more space underneath. Here's also a 12-volt power supply, by the way. Let's take a look at the camera, because this is really fancy. Great resolution, and also recent update that you also now have the camera view from the side mirrors. So this is then looking backwards. Oh, interesting that the color temperature here is a little bit different. Warmer temperature here and colder up there. Now the interior overview of the Polestar 2. More design elements, not that calm in design, but still a great Scandinavian style design. So really like that. More the vertical fit than here for the screen. And here we have both the infotainment screen and also the digital instruments. And I really have it, it's better to also have digital instruments, or at least a head-up display. And it also switches around a little bit here on the left side. When I put the gear in, you can either have a map view like this. So it's good to have this GPS view then in the middle part. Or you can also switch it around and have a more just bigger speed like it is. So you're also flexible. Overall, I think well done as for that. In the middle part then, however, you have this overview. You can directly switch to the vehicle functions. That's an easy control as well. On pedal driving standard, that's recommended definitely. Here creeping on or off. It's also when you release the brakes. Steering feel I would set to firm, because otherwise it feels too loose actually. And also assistance systems easy to put in and out. The camera here is with this fake drone view from above, and then you can switch to the rear view camera. Here I feel the Tesla has better resolution as for the camera. However, this one here has also a usable front camera. How we go to that one again? 360, and then here we go, front camera. We know that Tesla does have a front camera from the dash cam, but somehow it doesn't appear then in this other view. So, and then once again here, because this is very interesting, the phone, both vehicles with Bluetooth focus. However, the Polestar 2 is also supposed to get Apple CarPlay. But the thing is, this is a native Android integration, and that means you have Google Maps here, and that's also super fast. So both of these cars are leading as for the infotainment systems. And I think the Polestar 2, because it has the Google Maps, even better, because it knows more traffic information. It's just more clever during the navigation. So I would always have that. And of course you can use other more sophisticated commands here with the Google Assistant. Let's try it with the temperature. And I don't say it. Change temperature to 21 degrees.
Got it. Changing the temperature to
also
21 degrees.
Super fast how the commands are being transported. In the middle console here, inductive charging pad for your phone. Then here the chargers as well. Then you still have a manual volume knob. That's cool, also very sophisticated, but no manual climate knobs either. However, here in the lower part of the screen, you can control it a little bit better than with a Tesla. So that's actually, to put temperature higher or lower, an okay touchscreen solution. Once again, also the voice control is possible, of course. Then the shifting lever, also quite cool, with the Polestar logo. And the cup holders are adaptive here. That's definitely better, so the beverage don't fly around all over the place. You can put this one forward or backward. There's another cup holder, and you can also put this one absolutely backward. Not sure why they did in that way. Yeah, I mean that you can have this second cup holder then a little better, but this is not dampened, so here, yeah, that's not that kind of a premium solution, but overall I think the interior here feels a little bit more premium. Headless Thomas. Well, that's one thing I can only fit in here because I'm exactly next to the panoramic roof. I wonder what that does for crash safety. I don't know. That does work then headroom wise, but I feel a little bit cramped in here still. And since I can only find a comfortable seat position in the front when the back is a little bit more backwards, it gets closed with the knees then here. Not too good for the rear seating position here, I have to say. The only cool thing is really no middle tunnel at all. That's how it's supposed to be for the EVs, and that's why sitting in the middle part is actually easy. That's actually, giving you a lot of space and roomish feeling. So overall, yeah, well usable, no doubt about that, but also nothing special in the rear. Here, by the way, especially at these transitions, for example, you can see that the build quality is still lacking a little bit, like this. Here the panel gaps. Yeah, you can say it's maybe not the most important. At least you can work on this one. I always say that the concept is really great, and the whole, from building up from the base as the EV model. This is great with Tesla. On the details, you can still work on later, and they have already improved a lot of things. I hope this is still to come. And in the rear of the Polestar 2, a more upright seating position, definitely, and again, more comfortable. So the cushions, basically, they're a little bit more plush in the Tesla Model 3, but the overall ergonomics are definitely better here in the Polestar 2. Headroom wise, yeah, I mean the Tesla has this integration with the panoramic roof that I can directly sit underneath it. Here then is the beginning of the fabric, so it's also quite close here, but it still works. But the overall seating experience then, also like long term and so on, would be better than here in the Polestar 2. Once again, also really nice processed here, build quality, and we also have this armrest right here with adaptive cup holders. The only thing here, the cover here for the ski hatch, that's a little bit, hit and miss maybe. I don't know what that's supposed to be. By the way, cool, also in the performance pack, which is an option, then you also have these yellow seat belts, also a quite fancy option. And another fancy thing is, when you look from here, from the back to the front, you have this mirrored Polestar logo. It's an illumination in the panoramic roof. Ooh, and that's again where the Model 3 has an advantage. A middle tunnel in an electric vehicle, absolutely unnecessary. Of course, they also use it for stability reasons and for battery storage and so on. Yeah, I mean, this chassis feels more stable or stiffer indeed, but of course for the rear seating here, for the usability, yeah, that's not so good. Super interesting also the trunk comparison. Here, first of all, how they open. And here with the Tesla, more classic sedan style, not quite, but you see here more this, small hole to put things in, and here you have to go very low to open this hatch, and this is then more this fastback styling, so easier to load things in and out. Well, in a low basement garage it might be a problem, but definitely when you remove this one here also, you can get things in and out way easier, and also maybe put a bicycle in and so on. This is also interesting, this trunk split here, that you can secure a backpack or whatever right there. And then let's look underneath. Here we go. Some more space right there. And 440 liters. Whereas with the Tesla Model 3, we have 540 liters. So it's more in the capacity. And also right here, wow, this huge box underneath. And lengthwise, this is really interesting. Here, the Tesla Model 3, a little bit more than 1 meter or 40 inches. So that's, like this longer than the Polestar 2, and the width here a little bit less than 40 inches or a meter. And then once again, if we move to the Polestar 2, I can show that visual confirmation here. That's exactly 1 meter or 40 inches. but the width here is a little bit better. Also, yeah, exactly 1 meter or 40 inches. So width-wise, a little bit better here than with the Tesla Model 3, but the Tesla Model 3 longer. And of course, there's huge storage underneath. But although the linear figure is better for the Tesla and the length a little bit longer, I think the crucial thing is really how to get things in and out and the possibility to store more bulky things in. And that's why the Polestar 2 is to me the trunk comparison winner, although it has less of capacity.